Eilish on Dubai Eye 103.8. Helen with you through until 4. We're discussing male role models. Should we be showing and talking about adolescents in schools? Let us know your thoughts on that. If you do have teenagers, have they watched it? We'll be joined by education and family consultant and, yes, a teacher as well in the studio after 2 o'clock. First, though, we've got a great competition. I would love to send you along to see Gabriel Iglesias. He's bringing his hilarious new show to Abu Dhabi, taking over the stage for one night only at the Etihad Arena on May 3rd. So I've got a pair of tickets up for grabs. So if you want to be winning this, I need you to tell me his nickname. Is comedian Gabriel Iglesias known as Fluffy or Spiky? Hopefully an easy one if you are a fan. He's also got a show named around that, if that's... Listen, what I'm saying is if you want to Google it, I'm never going to know, okay? Fluffy or Spiky? Send that in to me with your name, please, on 4001. You've got the app if you prefer. And the WhatsApp, which is 04871 5500. Also the way to get in touch as we talk money matters this hour. Finance is one of the biggest sources of stress in relationships, and during tough economic times as well, it can really strain even the strongest of couples, whether it is rising costs, job uncertainty, market fluctuations, the Trump slump we're seeing right now. How do you talk to your partner without it becoming a blame game? Joining us this hour for a financial clinic, we've got J. Adrian Tolentino, a financial coach who helps individuals and families, especially in the Filipino community, take control of their finances. And Carol Glynn is the founder of Conscious Finance Coaching, empowering women in particular and working with couples to build healthier relationships around money. So do get in touch if you've got any questions for them. Let's start with that blame game, Carol. As you said, you work with couples, and I'm sure a lot of them are actually quite relieved to have a bit of a third party come in with a fresh perspective and, a balanced view. But can it quite quickly turn into, well, you do this, well, you do that, or you don't do this, or I thought you did that?
That's why they come to me, because they've gone through that and they realise we need an independent person here who can help us actually get to the crux of it, because the finger pointing starts coming out and nothing happens and nothing changes.
So how do we get over that?
It is, like I said earlier, it is actually talking about money first before you go to the spreadsheet. And again, it depends on what is triggering the issue, of course, for each couple is different. But I would say having a conversation with each other to say, look, there's an issue here. This is a problem for us, and let's look at how we can fix it. Secondly, try not to blame each other, listen more rather than accusing. So when you're having conversations about money, I would honestly go back to, what does money mean to you? Why do you feel the need to, spend or not spend or save? What's driving that? And listen to each other. Let people finish before you go, oh, but. And before you even go to a spreadsheet to look at what's happening. And then when you go to the spreadsheet, you need to understand each other as well, because some people hate spreadsheets and the numbers just confuse them. So you need to be open to a way to show it that the other person can read it.
My husband loves an Excel spreadsheet. He prides himself on it, and I'm like, I'm glazing over.
You've lost me
completely. Yeah. And now I don't want to be in this conversation.
Exactly. And then you check out.
Totally check out.
And nothing happens. So it's finding a way that you both can look at it together. But honestly, even before this, it's not about the spreadsheet. It's about understanding each other. And from my experiences, it's usually the person who is maybe working and feeling more responsibility. Let's say one person working, one doesn't, right? It's a bit of a cliche, but the person who is working feels more responsibility, tends to be more stressed because they're the one, and maybe trapped in a job that they don't like and worrying about what's happening in the markets and are we ever going to be able to retire and pay for the schools. The other person tends to be the one, let's say they're not working, but they're taking care of the household and the kids and running around, and they're spending more money because they're the one paying for everything at home. And very often I've seen where the person spending the money is really active to save money on discounts and this and that, whereas the other person just sees maybe ping, 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 money being spent and no context.
And it's very easy to get resentful when that's the case.
But, yeah.
I would also say something that kind of helps us is having a financial goal, a shared financial goal. And I'm very open about talking about, money in life or on Instagram and on the show. And my husband and I actually keep our finances very separate. We've got separate savings pots. We've got separate investment pots. We've got one shared kind of holiday account, and we share things proportionally to our salaries. That's kind of how we do it. That's it. But we do have goals, which was, we want to be looking at, leaving Dubai eventually as winners, of going, do we want to be mortgage free here? Do we want to have X amount in investments or in a pension pot? And understanding that we're ultimately on the same team, kind of going towards that goal, even if we don't always feel or act like it. Does that make sense?
It does, and it's really healthy because what it allows for then is those shared goals, which are really important, that you've both agreed on and are working and excited towards. But then it gives you freedom as well, because you have your own money separate, and what you do with that, it sounds like that's your business. So you're taking care of both. So then there's no pull and drag or watching.
I do judge the amount of packages that get delivered to our house, but it's coming out of his account, so fair enough. Jay, when you're working with people, I wanted to ask a little bit about money mindset, because it must be interesting about common money beliefs that people bring to relationships or go through life, thinking that, maybe I'm just not destined to earn a lot, or maybe I'm not smart enough to invest. What have you seen around money mindset that can really help someone or hurt them?
Well, what I've seen is, yes, what you said is about the belief that they're not enough to make enough money to barely survive. And I always tell my clients that your salary is not a reflection of who you are. It is basically just what you're earning. And those are two different things. And I want them to focus on the things that they can do, like probably having more awareness on where they can build their skills on so that they can earn more in the future. And if it's a couple, I always make this as a rule. If they are married couples, I want them to sit down together, even if the other one is not really interested in money. Because what I've experienced is, regardless of how good the plan is, it doesn't work if only one person is going to execute on it. And in terms of mindset, for couples, one usually is a spender and one is a saver. And like what Carol has said, it really is important to listen to each other and understand why they spend the way they spend money. Because what I realized with money is how you spend it is a reflection of your core values. And it's a great exercise for couples to really understand each other better, because probably we've been married to this person for a long time already, but we never really understood what their core values are until we check what their expenses are, where they spend on. And it's really important to understand each other.
That why I think is really interesting. When I find myself online shopping, I'm like, am I buying this because it's something that I want to wear to a specific event or for social media? Who am I trying to tell the world that I am in this dress or on this holiday? And a lot of it, when if you really are honest with yourself, is nonsense. Anyway, I didn't buy the dress, okay? So stop looking at me like that. T has been in touch. I love this, T. Thank you so much for reaching out. I'm looking for some advice on saving and how to improve my finances. I'm in my first job after uni. My take home is around 12,000 dirhams a month. I'm managing to save 1,000 dirhams a month for long term and about 500 on a good month for short term, i.e. holidays. I spend a bit on socialising, but my rent for a room right now is 6,000 dirhams. What else could or should I do? I mean, the fact that you are first job out of uni and actually saving, I'm not even joking, T. I only started saving properly a couple of years ago. Carol, I mean, I'm impressed.
I'm very impressed. I mean, and that's over 10% of their salary straight out of university. I think they need to give themselves applause. Yeah, exactly. They're doing very, very well.
In terms of, could you start investing now?
Yes. So for that 1,000 that they're putting away long term, if they don't have any need for that in the next 5 years, so they're not planning a house or anything like that, let's say, I would put that long term. And now that we have a slump, it's a good time to maybe buy some cheap shares.
Go, T. You were just saying off air, Carol and I, that more millionaires are made during times of recession than they are in boom. So this is the time to go shopping in the sales if you are looking to invest. And Brianna's reached out on 4001 saying, I'm wondering if this would help anyone. I've just started tracking my spend item by item. So I made 120 individual transactions in January, 104 in February, 89 in March, and I'm aiming for much less in April. I was thinking about the number of times I spend per day might help me save. It's like having a no spend day, but I don't need to give up if I've broken it. I'm trying to reduce spend across all areas, but it's definitely making more mindful about the number of times I spend. Interesting. I'd be terrified to work that out. But that's an interesting way of looking at it. I mean, it's my guess so much depends on, I'm reducing my number of spends, but overall I'm spending more because each transaction is more expensive.
Is bigger, maybe. I think whatever works for you, there's so many ways to approach this, but that is a really good way to do it if you just spend mindlessly and you're trying to actually just reduce the kind of hemorrhaging almost. It can be a great way, and it can be a great way to bring awareness to what you're spending, because each time you're spending, you're thinking, to your point, do I need this dress? Why am I doing this? Has it got longevity? I'm not sure I could continue with that, but if someone loves it, then it works for them.
Well, this is exactly it. Some people love the Excel spreadsheet. I guess we've only got a couple of minutes left, but I wanted to ask you, Jay, what are your tips for financial resilience right now, especially if someone feels like they're being priced out of the city, or indeed they're worried about the investments that they've made? What would you advise if someone came to you in a bit of a panic, Jay?
Yeah, well, the first thing is to not panic and understand that this is normal. Ups and downs are normal. And if price is really such an issue right now, just focus on the things that are really important to you and understand why it is important to you, and just focus on those things first, because you just need to ride this wave out until it recovers again, and probably look for additional sources of income. Because normally, if you have a problem with the prices, then most likely your income may not be enough to support your current lifestyle. Because let's face it, things are going to increase in terms of their costs in the next coming months, probably. But one thing that you can control is the way you spend money. Probably just temporarily pause on the things that are not necessary for you, the non-essential things, and just beef up your emergency fund. If you have 3, 4, try to aim for 6 to 9 or go to 12, just to make sure that there's enough money for you if ever worst comes to worst. At least you have enough to survive. Think about the pandemic again and how you survive that. I think it can be a benchmark for you. But again, you focus on the things that you can control.
Thank you, Jay. I mean, I say this after having a very expensive weekend of children having haircuts, dentist appointments, opticians. I feel like I'm just constantly paying out money right now. But how often, if you were going to get your crystal ball out, Carol Glynn, are we expecting more of a Trump slump over the coming weeks and months?
If I was a betting person, I think yes. I don't think this is a short-term blip. I think we're into months of uncertainty.
Wow, what a note to end on, Carol. Thank you. Happy birthday to you. But things are within our control. Not everything, but some things. And I think knowledge is power. Knowledge is power in terms of educating yourself around making investing a priority right now, making saving and invest right now, cutting spending where we can. Most important though, it's about education, getting your head out of the sand. Carol Glynn, absolute pleasure, Conscious Finance Coaching, and Jay Adrian Tolentino. If you want details of our guest this afternoon, if you are looking to educate yourself and get your head out of the sand, send me the word money. I'd be very happy to connect you and send over their details.
Weather check with Air Arabia. Explore Yerevan, Nairobi, Vienna,